Hello YouTube, this is Robert Ness 816 and I'm coming at you with another video. So today we're talking about something that a lot of people have complained about. So Gillette changed the scent of their Gillette Foamy, and this has a lot of people very angry, but to be fair to Gillette, it's been 30 years since Gillette Foamy has had any type of change to it. Um, Gillette Foamy's been around since I believe the mid 1950s, so it's been around for quite a long time. And I believe in that time it's gone through, I believe, two or three different scent changes. Um, and the most recent incarnation is just kind of like a modern take on, I think, what their regular foamy scent, should smell like, given their aftershaves and everything else, which it does pair nicely with. So this is kind of like their, I want to say cool breeze or whatever scent, whereas the old one was kind of like just a generic um, scent that appealed to a lot of people. And I mean, between the two of them, I really don't have a preference for either one of them. This can is pretty old. This one's from, I believe, 2009 or so. It used to have the date here on the sticker, but it wore off. This was a can that my dad actually bought and never used, and I actually found it in his travel pack, and it's working perfectly fine ever since. So this is the old scent, and it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. The new scent too, same thing. It is a bit stronger as far as like when it hits your nose. It's a little bit stronger, but it doesn't linger, is what I'm saying. So like when you wash it off, the scent goes away. I've been reading reviews. Some people say it stays on there. It's very strong. I honestly have zero issues with the new scent. It works perfectly fine. It's just whatever. As far as the glide and slickness goes, the way that it spreads across your face, again, zero difference between them. I shave with a safety razor, so if there's anything that will show a weak shaving cream or soap or anything, it'll be this. So really, it works perfectly fine, just like the older stuff does. There's really no difference in the slickness of the shaving cream, in the residual slickness, the leftover slickness that you have on your face after you make a pass with the razor. Um, the density of the foam coming out of the can is very thick. It spreads across the face nicely, just like the old stuff did. There's really no difference performance-wise, and that was something else that I noticed. Some people saying that there was a difference between the two of them, and I really haven't noticed anything at all. Um, so as far as the new can design goes, I mean, basically just picture the older can being like this, but obviously same graphics but bigger. This is your 2 ounce travel can, and this is your what is this one? I believe it's an 11 ounce. Yeah, 11 ounce regular size can. This will last you a couple months actually, or maybe even a month or two, depending on how much is shaved. But um, the new can is actually, it's a little bit more plain Jane. There's not as much graphics in it there. If you're looking at the old one, you got some graphics in the back of it and stuff like that. This one's more of like a simpler, kind of like a modern take, I guess, on a classic product. I mean, Gillette Foamy has never really had a crazy can design to begin with there, so I mean, kind of neat to see Gillette kind of going back to basics as far as that goes. Um, but there was one thing that I think should be addressed. So you have basically the same product being available for 30 years as far as the scent goes. The can design has changed a little bit over the years. The old ones used to have this full cap on it. Then they went to this little small cap thing, which is again, um, Gillette started out initially with a little tiny cap that went over the spray nozzle on these cans for their very first ones, and then they had a full cap, and then they kind of streamlined it, and then they went back to this one. So that was also something that people complained about, and honestly, I could care less about the cap because, what used to happen was the can would rust all around this rim and it would look like shit, to be honest with you. So it's good that they went with this because it just makes more sense. Um, but getting back to it there, so you have the same product there, the same scent for 30 years. Gillette should just put down, new scent or something like that just to kind of let people know, like, hey, we changed it, but I guess they were like, the can design's different. I guess we should expect something else to be different. I don't know. I think the two of them should be kind of produced alongside one another, and then whichever one sells better should be the one that stays in production, maybe. But as far as my opinion goes on it, it's perfectly fine. It's not a bad scent. I don't really have an issue with it. Um, and like I said, it goes away, whatever. And again, it works perfectly fine with a safety razor. This is a Parker 56R, so fairly mildish, sort of aggressive-ish safety razor. Um, so I mean, if it works fine for something like this, it'll work fine for a cartridge razor or whatever. So just my take on this. So if you have a new can and maybe you don't like it, or maybe you haven't tried it yet, or maybe the bad reviews put you off, I would just say buy a can, see how it is, see if you like it or whatever. Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching, guys.